Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. Willie Creeman here, just coming through with a My Guys episode for you guys before the start of the NFL season here. Happy Thursday. I know everything kicks off tonight. So here we go. We'll get going on this. First My Guy I've got this year is Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears. Last year, 1,143 yards rushing through only 15 games at 7 yards a tote. I mean, this guy was just absolutely killing it. This year, he's going to be playing behind an improved offensive line. They added DJ Moore as a great playmaker for him, so he should have a lot of success being able to throw the ball, yeah, especially having someone that's reliable on the outside for him. He spent a lot of time in the offseason working on his quarterback mechanics, and I think that's really going to help him a lot in the passing game this year. I had him last year on my fantasy team, and this dude was just an absolute dog. I mean, I picked him up, I think, week 5, week 6 off the waiver wire, and he just crushed it for me during the season, rode him right through the playoffs. This is a guy that could finish as the number one QB overall, and I'm getting him in the fifth round consistently. You're talking about a guy whose floor is likely QB5, and that's very impressive for quarterbacks. So, 1,500 yards rushing is not out of the question for this guy, and as a QB, that's kind of unheard of. What does he need to do in order to be able to make this happen? He's got to stay healthy, not take as many sacks, and he's got to be smart with the football, right? If he's more efficient with the football, he's going to be able to put up great numbers this year. So, real excited about his opportunities. The second my guy I've got is Justin Herbert from the Chargers. He had a down season last year by his standards, which is kind of funny because it's an up season for most quarterbacks. But he finished as the quarterback 11 overall. Still a QB1, just not the QB1 you were looking for where you drafted him. And I think a lot of people remember that he was hurt during the season, but people forget that he lost Rashawn Slater, which was his starting left tackle, third game of the season. And, losing a left tackle has an immense impact on a quarterback and their ability to do their job properly. You just don't feel safe when you don't have that protection on the blind side for you. Some of the things that bode well for him this year, Kellen Moore coming in as the new offensive coordinator. They added Quentin Johnson as well with the first round draft pick, and he's going to really have the opportunity to stretch the defense. I know they've been playing Mike Williams in the slot a little bit too, trying to experiment with that. So they should have some very new kind of innovative things that they're going to be implementing this year. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams are both healthy for now. And they just need to continue to stay that way during the season. This is a team that's had a lot of struggles with in terms of health in past years, and I'm hoping they're able to turn it on this year. This is a guy, he could be the fantasy MVP this year, and you're getting him in the fifth, sixth round compared to a Mahomes or a Hurts or an Allen where you're drafting them in the second or the third. The only guy that I can see beating him this year is Justin Fields. And it's not tough to see him throw for 5,000 yards and 35 touchdowns in this offense. That's the floor. Really, he could end up at 6,000 with 50 touchdowns if they do it right. What does he need to do? He just needs to stay healthy, have his receivers and his line stay healthy as well. And that could be a tall task, but one that I think they're up for this year. Another one of my guys, Khalil Herbert, running back for the Bears. This guy's a super talented athlete. I mean, he's a true specimen. I've drafted him in almost every league that I've had this year. Getting him consistently in the eighth round. He averaged 5.7 yards per carry last year. Let me say that again. He averaged 5.7 yards per carry last year and only played in 13 games. This dude was very, very efficient with the football. Eberflus has been talking him up nonstop. Yet it's kind of strange because the hype has stayed kind of quiet in fantasy. I think people are nervous that Fields will be poaching touchdowns from him or poaching running potential. Like, I don't see that happening. These guys can both coexist in this offense. But I'm glad that people are shy on him. I love it because he's fallen to me in every single draft. He's a superior athlete to Deonta Foreman, and he's been in the system longer than Johnson. So I think Johnson's will get some third down work this year, but he's a rookie. It's going to take him time. He's also a good athlete playing behind Bijan at Texas and stuff, but I just think it's going to take him a little bit of time. And he may not even supplant Herbert at all this year. My prediction for him, 1,200 yards and 8 to 10 touchdowns. And I really don't think that's out of the realm of possibility for him. Next is running back Dameon Pierce of the Houston Texans. He's still my guy, even though I'm not able to get him in drafts anymore. He's just too expensive. And he's going in the fourth or fifth round. Just went 3 picks into the fourth round in my draft 2 days ago, and it always seems like I'm getting sniped on this guy. He was a very good running back last year. He averaged 4.3 yards per carry, which, if you do the math, that's about 1.5 yards per carry less than Khalil Herbert did. And this guy just finished just short of 1,000 yards on the ground. A quarter of his carries went for first downs last year, and that's a very impressive stat when you think about it. The offense this year should be much better under CJ Stroud. They shouldn't have to throw as much, which means they can rely more on the running game. He's going to be getting the bulk of the carries. I know people are concerned about Devin Singletary, saying that he's going to eat a ton, but I don't think he's going to eat that much. And this is the thing. Having Devin Singletary out there is a good thing for Dameon Pierce. It keeps him fresh, it keeps him efficient, and he's going to be able to have better rushing numbers because of being able to come off the field sometimes. He's going to finish, I think, as a top 10 running back this year. My prediction for him, 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns, and I don't think that's a stretch for him at all. My guy, wide receiver number one, is Calvin Ridley from Jacksonville. This guy, the reviews are incredible. He's primed for a great season. He's got great chemistry with Trevor Lawrence. They've shown it not only in training camp, but through the preseason. You're seeing videos nonstop. I think he's really going to take a big step forward this year. Both drafts, I had a tough time trying to get him because I was picking 7th overall, and it seemed like by the time it was coming back to me, he was already gone. Or in the 3rd round, he was going super early, and I just didn't want to spend a 2nd round pick on him very early. But I was able to snag him in one of my drafts. I was very happy that he was still there. Looking back a little bit, his 2020 season, he had 90 catches on 143 targets. And then 1,374 yards for 9 touchdowns. So I look at that, that was an absolute stellar year for him with the Falcons. You look at the touchdowns through the seasons with Calvin Ridley too, and that's kind of an interesting thing. 10 one season, 7 the next, 9 the next. What he's shown is that he has a nose for the end zone, and we'll find it early and often this year. I think with the rapport that he has with Lawrence, they're going to be able to get going real quick, real early, and it's going to make a lot of fantasy owners very happy. Look out for the Jaguars this year, specifically Calvin Ridley. My prediction for him, 100 receptions for 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns, and that could be the lower end on it. My second wide receiver is rookie Jordan Addison of the Minnesota Vikings. He was drafted 23rd overall by them, which means he's going to be used. He was an excellent route runner and with very good hands. He showed that at USC. He showed that at Penn State. I think he's going to absolutely feast in this offense with Jefferson and Hockenson. All the focus is going to be on them. So half the field is devoted to these two guys. This dude's just going to be open against subpar coverage all the time. Contrary to popular belief that Flores is going to fix the defense, Minnesota is going to be playing behind a lot this year, and I think they're going to have to throw a lot. This gives Addison even more upside because with them double covering Jefferson, paying attention to Hockenson, he's going to have even more targets coming his way. Don't forget, Adam Thielen, when he left to go to Carolina, there was a lot of targets that were left open. Those are going to be going directly to Addison. I think he's got a lot of potential this year, and to be honest, I think he could step into that elite production category where you're looking at those number 2 guys who are really number 1 guys like Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, Devonta Smith. I see him directly in that category with a great season. And I don't think it's unrealistic to see him around 85 to 90 receptions and 10 touchdowns as a rookie. My guy tight end is Darren Waller of the New York Giants. He's an absolute target vacuum. And as soon as he signed with the Giants, as soon as that ink dried on that contract, he was their best pass catcher. He's got a new team with Brian Daboll, who, let's not forget, utilized Gronk to a T when he was in New England. This guy knows how to scheme open tight ends in this offense, whether it's a crossing route or a deep post, anything like that. Waller is a superior athlete. He is going to be open, and he's going to get a ton of targets in this offense. I think he has a chance to really finish as the overall tight end number 1 this year, especially when you start hearing about Kelsey and Andrews and Kelty, Andrews, and then also George Kittle being injured right now. I think he's got a good chance to be able to get a good jump start on that. You look at, the years 2019 and 2020, he received a large number of targets and turned that into some serious production. 1,100 yards each year, and the touchdowns kind of varied. But let's be honest, touchdowns are a variable statistic. They're not the same every year. The biggest thing that stood out to me in those 2 years was that he didn't miss a game. And that's a big piece of it. So if he's able to stay healthy, he could be an absolute smash play this year. I was able to get him in the 7th round, but now his price is starting to increase. I've seen him even going late in the 4th, early 5th. My prediction for him, 90 receptions this year, 1,200 yards, and 10 touchdowns. My other tight end that I have that's my guy is Dalton Kincaid. And he was drafted, he's a rookie, he was drafted 25th overall in the 2023 draft by the Bills. They're going to be using this guy as a slot receiver. Now, not exclusively. He's going to line up at tight end sometimes for them and stuff, but he will see many sets when he's on the field with Dawson Knox and stuff. I cannot stand how people keep trying to draft this guy like a tight end, though. He is a slot receiver with the tight end tag. Trust me, you do not want to sleep on Dalton Kincaid this year. He's got great hands. He's a great route runner. This guy is going to make people regret not taking him by the beginning of October. Trust me, October 1st, take me to the bank on it. He is going to be putting up production that will make you say, I wish I had snagged him when I could have. And guess what? You still can if you haven't drafted yet. You can get him consistently in the 9th or 10th round of drafts. My prediction for him, 75 receptions, 950 yards, and 8 touchdowns this year. My guy that I have is Luke Musgrave from the Green Bay Packers. He was drafted number 42 overall by Green Bay in this year's draft. He's an absolute freakish athlete with really good hands and a wide catch radius. He is their starting tight end. It's already confirmed. He's developing very well with Jordan Love. And even the rumors this week of Dobbs and Watson having hamstring injuries and not practicing and stuff, that just elevates his value a lot going up there. So in the preseason, he played 96% of the snaps with the first team. He's going to be an active part of helping Green Bay win games this year. Please do not sleep on this guy either. And you can get him in the very, very late rounds of the draft, 12th, 13th, 14th round. My prediction for him this year, 80 receptions for 950 yards and 8 touchdowns. Hey guys, just wanted to thank you. If you like this content, please make sure you go ahead and like the video and smash that subscribe button. You could follow me on X at Willie Creeman FF, Twitch at Willie Creeman, and again on YouTube. Thank you guys so much, and good luck tonight, Thursday Night Football. Thank you.